So it's almost fall, the temperatures are coming down, and so are the mortgage rates. Finally, let's get into it. Hey guys, how you doing? Derek here from Simply Home. I'm the broker for the entire state of Michigan, and I've got an all-star team of agents. So whether you're looking to buy, sell, invest, rent, whatever you need, we've got you covered. We even do property management now. So the past couple weeks have been absolutely insane for real estate all across the country, but at least in our market, same deal. We had those new rules that went into effect, which basically all it means is if you're a buyer, we need you to sign a piece of paper that tells what our commission structure is before we show you a house. And if you're a seller, we can't disclose what commission we're offering to a buyer's agent on the MLS. Or, there's a couple other sites where we can't do it too. Aside from that, nothing really changed. It's pretty much the same experience for you as a client, whether you're looking to buy or sell. For us as agents, it's just more work for us. Whatever, we're used to doing work, no big deal. And so far everything's moving on just fine. I haven't had any problems at all. So I didn't suspect that we would, but I know that's a question that a lot of people have been asking. So I just wanted to address it in this video. For the most part, so far, haven't really seen a whole lot of difference. People that need to buy houses can go look at houses. People that need to sell houses can have showings and get their house sold. So far, so good. But the point of this video, I just wanted to kind of talk about what the market's doing right now. And if you're not familiar with Metro Detroit, maybe you watch this from some other part of the country or some other part of the world and just kind of want to know what's going on in Metro Detroit this time of year, that's why I'm making this video. So this is the very beginning of September, and this is a lot of people, I would say the majority of people that live in Metro Detroit consider this their favorite part of the year. I'm partial to spring because I just love it after a long, cold, dark, gray winter when the birds finally start chirping and the sun comes out and the flowers start blooming. I love that. But my second favorite time of the year is fall here in Metro Detroit. People like it for a lot of reasons, but this is, you don't move here to Michigan for the weather, but this is like that small, tiny little window that we get, throughout the year where the weather is darn near perfect. Like right now outside, it's, mid 70s. It's not humid for a change. Nice little breeze. It's sunny. Like we get this little pocket. Usually it's right around this time of year, beginning of first few weeks of September. We usually have awesome weather. This year so far is no exception. In addition to that, there's so much to do this time of year. It's awesome. So there's still, if you're into sports, the Tigers are still playing. The Red Wings and the Pistons are starting to get ready for camp. The Lions have their first game this weekend, and for once and for the first time in my life, they're actually really good. So hopefully this year is no different. But so there's lots of sporting events to see, lots of things to do. It's still warm enough to go to the beach and go swimming, and there's just lots of activities. The cider mills and pumpkin patches are just starting to open up. You can do so much. There's every weekend if you want. There's something different to do in this area this time of year. And as much as I love to play amateur tour guide for the Detroit area, this is primarily a real estate channel. So we're going to talk real estate because the market, this is also a great time of year for the market. Like we just got past, we have, every year it seems like late July, early August to the middle of August, there's a little bit of a lull for whatever reason. Like the summer is usually busy. And to call it a lull is maybe not the right term because if the lull happened in December, it'd be the busiest December ever. It just kind of, the peak of summer just kind of slows down just a little bit, picks right back up this time of year. So we've got some pretty significant changes in the market too. So let's talk about that for a minute. Probably the biggest surprise for me is, like, I was not expecting this, but we've seen a ton of new inventory hitting the market. So between June and July, inventory went up 6%, which is, that's what you'd expect this time of year. We, kind of peak out like around a couple weeks ago, around middle to end of August, and then the inventory starts going down usually. But between July and right now, inventory is up 41%. There's a ton of new houses hitting the market. So which is good. I mean, normally, like if we were at like where we normally would be in a typical year and inventory went up 41%, I'd be freaking out. But 41% doesn't even get us to where we normally are this time of year. So, so as long as that doesn't keep happening month over month over month, I'm not too worried about it. And obviously, I'll report back here. But I'm just happy that there's inventory out there for for buyers to look at, because that's the problem we've been dealing with for literally years. It's been going on for like 3 years. This year wasn't quite as bad, but the 2 years before this year have been just unbelievably tight as far as inventory goes. So now we don't have that problem as much. So if you're looking to buy a house, you've got plenty of options out there. You can shop around, you can take your time, you can negotiate. So so that's a great sign. I'm happy to see that. And I don't know if this is the catalyst for this. But it might be, because I do so much market research. I talk to so many people, and for the past couple of years, the number one objection I was getting, it wasn't from buyers, it was from sellers, of why they didn't want to sell their house, was that rates were too high, which I get. Like if you refinance down to like a 2.3% interest rate or something, and then you're gonna buy a house, and you're gonna have to buy it at 8% or close to it, like that's not fun. So I don't blame people for keeping their houses off the market. But I think what we're seeing now is rates have come down enough that people are comfortable putting their house on the market and giving up that super low interest rate, because their house no longer suits their needs for whatever reason. So it's time to get another one. And maybe they weren't willing to pay 8%, which again, I don't blame you, but we're getting down now into the low 6s, high 5s. So that is low enough apparently that people that weren't comfortable putting their house on the market previously are comfortable doing it now. And as far as rates go, that's the real numbers. A year ago we were almost at 8%. We were in the high 7s, like the real high 7s, and we brushed up against 8%. I think it was about last November, and then they started coming down quite a bit. So where we are now, we're a couple weeks before the Fed announces their rate cut. Hopefully, they've already indicated that they're going to cut rates. We just don't know how much. But the mortgage rates have really started dropping. So we're legit for a 30-year fixed rate conventional in the low to mid 6s, and if you have really good credit, we can get you into the high 5s. So that's if you're looking to sell, if you're waiting for rates to come down. I mean, I'm sure they're going to keep coming down a little bit as long as the economy keeps doing what it's doing. We're gonna see a series of rate reductions, for probably over the course of the next year to year and a half. But if you had bought your house anytime in the last like 2 to 3 years, you're probably, I'd say maybe not 3 years, 24 to 26 months. If you bought a house in that time frame, you might want to reach out. Like, give me a call or text, and I'll put you in the right direction. We'll see if it makes sense for you to refinance or not. And obviously, that's going to be a case by case basis. Everybody's individual goals are different. But if you bought a house with the intention of staying in there for 7 to 10 years, like most people do, and you're at say you're at a 7.4% interest rate, you can probably benefit from refinancing at this point. But we'll have that conversation. If that's something that you're interested in, just reach out, and like I said, I'll point you in the right direction. I'm not the mortgage expert, but I know enough to know when it's a good time to think about doing that process. And if you're looking to buy, so let's talk about market predictions just for a minute here, because some of these numbers we absolutely know what they're looking like. We know the inventory is up 41%. Like, that's just math, and we can tell that. But the other thing that we're seeing now, we know rates are coming down. That's just math. We know where rates are, generally speaking. I mean, again, that's individual based on your credit score, your income, all that good stuff. But if you're ready to start shopping for a house, what we know, the one thing I don't know is what prices are going to do. So let's just talk about market fundamentals. We got two things that are kind of competing against each other right now. We've got inventory spiking, which if interest rates stay steady, what you can expect, the more inventory you have, the average days on market is going to increase, and as the competition increases, the days on market take longer before a house sells, prices are going to start coming down. That's just, economics. But we've got that variable now of interest rates coming down quite a bit as well, which is bringing more buyers into the market. So I don't know which way it's going to go. Like, prices could go up or they could go down. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. We're going to have to see, I think, how many new buyers we have entering the market versus the amount of inventory we have to put them in. And that's probably going to dictate days on market, which will dictate average prices as well. So I really don't know. It's going to be interesting to see which way it goes, or those two competing forces could just like balance each other out and everything stays steady as far as average price. We'll find out. And one thing I promise is that I will report it back to you. And as always, if you're thinking about investing in the Detroit market, there's really not another market that I know of in the country where you can pick up nice homes. Even if prices go up, we're still going to be undervalued compared to most of the country. And our rents aren't significantly lower than a lot of places. So the cash flow potential there for a rental property is absolutely there. Flips, I think if you know what you're doing and you're careful about it and you watch your numbers, there's definitely a lot of potential still to make a ton of money. What we're probably going to see is the ability, what we haven't had for a while, is the ability to pick up a house cheaply enough to really make it a great flip opportunity. You can sell them for a lot more than you used to be able to. Is acquiring those properties that's a little bit harder. So I think what we're going to see is a more balanced market where you're able to pick up a distressed property at a pretty cheap price, turn around, rehab it, and then still sell it at a nice profit. We'll see. But as just from a buying standpoint, if you're just looking for a home to live in, the market's great. If you are thinking of visiting the Detroit area, this is the time of year to do it. So get in your car, hop on a plane, come see us. I've had people from all over the country come into the office this year just from this YouTube channel, and many of them have become clients. Like, some of them have come to see the city and realize it's just not for them. Other people are just all in. So obviously you can only tell so much from videos and YouTube and looking at the MLS and all that. I highly recommend, if you're thinking about investing in Detroit, fly in, take a look at it, get to know the different neighborhoods, find out the parts of town that really resonate with you, and then we can focus in on that. But you got about 2 months of really nice, pleasant weather, a lot of stuff to do. If we get too much past Thanksgiving, it's going to start to get really cold. And if you came in the middle of summer, you know how hot and humid it gets here. This time of year is just perfect, though. So come on out and see us. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. Call or text anytime. My direct line is 586-491-5622. You can also reach me at 248-561-6155. New email address, Werenka@simplyhome.com. The old email address still works as well, dwerenka@m1realty.net. I'm on all the socials, so Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, you name it, I'm on it. Shoot me a DM. I'll respond quick with accurate information. And aside from that, thank you so much for watching, guys. I truly appreciate it. This little tiny YouTube channel has kind of become life-changing. It's allowed me to meet so many awesome people from like all over North America, and work with so many of you. It's just been a blessing. It's great. I'm so happy that we've be able to have this interaction. So by all means, any questions ever, just reach out. That's what I'm here for. And as always, I'll be back next week with some more information. I'm going to keep an eye on what the market's doing. I have a feeling we're going to be talking a lot about that over the next couple months, because we haven't really seen a market fluctuation like this in a while. And the last one we saw made things a lot harder it just tightened up the market considerably, made prices go up, rates were higher, the whole 9 yards. We've been talking about that till we're blue in the face. I'm super happy to report the market is kind of changing back into a market where it's just going to be a lot easier to acquire properties. It's still not going to be hard to sell if you have an agent who knows what they're doing. And it's just a nice balanced market that's just easier for everybody. It's less stressful, and I think that's where we're heading. But we'll know for sure when we get there, and I'll keep reporting back the whole way. So again, thank you so much, guys. We'll talk soon. Have a great rest of your week. We'll be back next week with some more information. Thanks so much. Have a great one.